Hey guys, welcome to episode number 491. Today is Tuesday, so I have another tank tip for you, and I'm outside before it gets too dark out with a little problem and solution that I came up with. And this is a very important thing, being able to diagnose and repair your electrical and your plumbing problems with your aquarium projects. Anytime you put things together yourself, there's a pretty good chance that something's going to go wrong, and that's exactly what happened in my case. So obviously we have the solar panel, just charging a battery. It's been sunny out for 2 days. However, my water had stopped pumping, and so immediately I knew there was a problem, and I went about trying to fix it. It was a very frustrating process, and I'm sure you guys have been there in the past where something's broken and you're trying to figure out exactly what's wrong. And the important thing is just to take it step by step, know where you need to start, and then continue until you've sort of exhausted all of the points of failure. And eventually you'll find out exactly what's causing the problem, and you'll be happy that you kept at it. So in my case, what happened was one of these pumps was in this barrel and it wasn't pumping. When I took it out, I noticed that the intake screen that was over the front of this had gotten loose. And when I looked inside, I took the pump apart, there was a little plastic noodle, like one of these, that had gotten lodged in the pump itself and was stopping the propeller from turning. Obviously, that piece of plastic came from the construction of the barrel itself. I guess I didn't wash all of them out when I was creating it, and it caused the blockage. So that's why the pump stopped originally. However, in my quest to try to unblock the pump, I actually created a separate problem, and that one was a little bit more frustrating and difficult to figure out. But essentially what I did was I started by swapping out my pump. I have 2 backups of these, so I just swapped the pump out. I made sure to put a new intake screen on the front, a piece of sponge, so that a sponge foam, so that nothing else could get into the propellers. And then I turned it back on and found that it still wasn't turning on. But at this point, it wasn't a mechanical problem because the pump was brand new. It was now an electrical problem. And here's exactly what I found. When I originally created this, I used these shrink wrap tubings, and I used the smallest one that I had, but it still wasn't small enough for the diameter of the wiring that I was using. And so one of these actually got loose. When I was banging around this pump trying to clear the blockage, I actually knocked the positive wire, the red wire, loose from the inside of that. And obviously this is all wrapped up in electrical tape because it's exposed to the elements, and so there's no way to really know that that failed, except for the fact that there was no power going to the pump. So what I did, so we have the new pump, then I cut this out, and I spliced those wires back together, wrapped them up in new electrical tape, and lo and behold, now the power's on. So I got to the solution eventually, but it did take a while. It was a little frustrating, but the important part is that I kept at it and that I kept going down the line of possible problems until I got to the correct answer. In my case, the end problem was that the pump wasn't working. After I swapped out the pump, it still wasn't working. So it's not the pump, it's the electrical. So I followed the electrical cable, and the next thing that I found was my answer to my problem. So if you trace back your electrical all the way back to its source, eventually you're going to find out what's broken, and you'll be able to fix it and then get everything back up and running. So anyways, I think my plants are going to thank me because it's been fairly warm out the last few days. I hope none of them got too distressed in their day or two of no water, but as you can see, they are doing fairly well, and I hope that they continue to grow now that they have their source of water back. Anyways, guys, I thought that was a neat little problem that I ran into. Definitely worth walking through and explaining, because you're always going to run into problems like this. And it's how you react to those problems that really determines how successful you're ultimately going to be in the hobby, especially if you go down the DIY route. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.